Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Corner Cauldron with me, Buffy, and my co-host with the most, my brother from another mother, my WT, my Wonder Twin, Jim Spillin. Bro, it's been so long,
It's
so
been
long.
it has been way too long. We're talking last year since we were here.
Your microphone is off, sir. I
Oh,
can't hear you.
how the hell did that happen?
We're having technical difficulties already.
Internal mic. You can't hear me?
We gonna see what's going on here. You got your volume on, bro?
Better? We were just
Talk amongst
chatting.
yourself, people. We're having a moment of technical difficulties.
What the shitbird?
And we're feeling a little verklempt this
Does
evening.
that work? No, that's not working. What? Yeah, my microphone won't work.
Why? She's not on Facebook.
Oh, well, I can't talk to her right now because I can't. I'm having technical to talk. What?
Oh my.
All right, is that better?
Well, I can hear you. I can see you talking through the closed caption there.
Yeah, but what? I have not touched anything about. How about now? No. Oh, you. What would that do? Am I back?
Do you want to pop on out and then pop back on in and see
Yeah,
what happens?
let me do that.
Maybe Tim, our producer, can be a little bit of a help.
All right. So what is this? Here's my.
Okie dokie. Well, Jim's gonna pop out for a second. We seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulties with our show. So I'm going to talk about tonight's topic until he comes back in. Tonight we're going to be talking about fear in witchcraft and the occult, and kind of dismissing a lot of the fear that people have when it comes to witches, witchcraft, the occult, things of that nature. How about now? Can you hear? I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
You hear me now? What is going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Everyone says I got it.
Try the StreamYard app, looking at it through your computer, and at the bottom of the screen you should have a microphone.
Yeah.
Does it say it's on?
All right.
Oh wow, I think Tim's gonna have to take a look and see what's going on the other end. See if our producer Tim Hopper can pop in here and see what the heck's going on.
Because we were just talking. Private chat.
Yeah, he's coming through okay in the studio.
I can't hear him on my end.
Does she have me on mute?
You might check your mute button, Buffy, to see, because I hear him okay in the studio.
It says phone microphone is on.
Yeah, because I can hear Tim.
My microphone is on.
Yeah, you're coming in good, Jimmy, on my end.
You and I are fine. What happened between when you left us and me and Buff going live? I wonder.
I don't know. I hear both of you loud and clear.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on my end.
How about live stream? Can you hear him on Facebook? How about YouTube?
Let me see.
Yeah, check those settings. So I'm pretty sure that you're coming in.
I don't know what's going on my end.
How about live stream? Can you hear him on Facebook? How about YouTube?
Let me see.
Yeah,
Hey,
check those settings.
Jim, say something.
Something.
I'm pretty
No? Still nothing. That is weird.
Jim, say something. Uh-oh, I can hear you on here.
Yeah, but we're in a
I can hear you through my computer.
but we're like on a 30-second delay because I just heard it.
Yeah, you're coming through StreamYard, okay.
I can hear you through my computer.
But we're like on a 30-second delay because I just heard it.
Yeah, you're coming through StreamYard, okay.
Yeah, so why don't I just I'll keep
Yeah,
this
Lucy
for
said she could
video.
hear all of us, so
I'll keep this for video
yeah.
and
Well,
the
you're coming
microphone,
in,
but I'll
Jimmy.
hear him through the computer. How about that? Yeah. So
Okay.
why don't I just
Yeah, so don't panic. You're coming in.
Okay. I'll keep this for video.
Yeah.
And the microphone, but I'll hear him through the computer. How about that?
Okay.
Sound like a plan, Stan?
Don't panic. You're coming in.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, Lucy can hear all of us.
Sound
Okay.
like a plan, Stan?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh my goodness.
So you can't hear me right now.
Let's see
Yeah,
here.
Lucy can hear all of us.
Okay.
All right. Even though we're having a little bit of a delay, I think we're good. As long as I can hear you, bro, and your responses.
You can't hear me right now.
I can hear you through my computer. All right. Even though we're having a little bit of a delay, I think we're good. As long as I can hear you, bro, and your responses. I can hear you through my computer. All right. Even though we're having a little bit of a delay, I think we're good. As long as I can hear you, bro, and your responses.
Phone microphone and SteamYard.
Uh-oh, you just popped off the screen. Bro has disappeared. Uh-oh, you just popped off. Bro has disappeared yet again. While we're getting him situated with that, what I'd like to do here is ask a lot of people, hey Dave, how are you, hun? You back, bro?
Nate, can you hear me? Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, he's back.
Yeah, but I'm getting really nasty.
Bro?
Nate, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there's a lot of feedback. What I'm going to do is I am going to go out of my phone and come back in through my computer, okay? I can hear you, but there's a lot of feedback. What I'm going to do is I am going to go out of my phone and come back in through my computer, okay?
Is I can't hear you now at all, Buff. What the hell? I don't know. If you can hear me, I have no idea what. Everything from my end, if you can hear me, should be working.
Yeah, you guys are good on my end, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing her, but she's I got some serious ringback at one point there, or sort of some feedback, like she had two microphones next to each other too close.
Right.
That was it was piercing. And then when I was going to the microphone, my microphone's working on my left. I'm getting a green bar showing it's working. And then it just booted me when I went to check a setting.
Okay.
So I don't know where the hang up now. Right now I have Buff, a little faded, but I don't think. Thumbs up, Buff, if you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear her.
I can't hear her either.
Yeah, I can't hear her on this end.
Mm-mm.
And the contrast is a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
So let's see.
What the hell? It's been too long. We haven't had a show, and I want to do a show, and we can't even get the hell on. Yeah, I don't. My end, I'm getting green indicators for everything, and you and I are good, so I know we're working.
Yeah, we were good a few minutes ago. Other than Buffy just couldn't hear you. But yeah, Dave Cummins says that he can hear Jimmy, but not Buffy.
Huh.
Oh, let's see. Give us a thumbs up, Buffy, if you can hear us.
So she can hear us.
She can hear us, but we can't hear her.
We can't do anything. I have no idea, Tim.
Yeah, I can't fix her problem on this end.
I'm wondering if she needs not just a log out, but a complete reboot of everything.
Yeah, because she had good contrast, she had good sound.
Well, I'm just trying to think where the settings went, because before we went live, we were all three chatting just fine.
Yeah, exactly. And even when we went live, I could hear all three, both of you guys really well. Okay, let's see. She's coming back in. Let's see how her settings are here. All right, she's not connecting. That's a little better. All right, let me see if I can add her and see what. That's a little better. She may come in this time.
How about now?
All right, I can hear you.
We got you now.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. What
All right.
in the heck?
No, it's the signal is what it is.
Oh. Okay.
So it's a little bit wonky.
That's a technical term.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a technical term?
Wonky. Yeah, wonky.
Well, the technical term, in layman's term, I'm going to remove myself.
Okay.
From the studio.
It only took us like 20 minutes.
Well, it is what it is. So We worked through it.
It is what it is.
All right, carry on.
Okay.
All right, let's try this
So-
again.
Let's try this again. How you doing, bro?
You know,
It's been so long. It's been so long.
it's been too long. It's been too long since we've done a show. Heck, we haven't done one since. I'm going back to
2025.
25. It's been a year.
It's been
I think October was probably the last time we did a show
I think it is the last time we did a show.
because we stopped things for holidays. We did one right around Halloween.
Yeah,
We have-
we did one
we
on
have been-
Halloween.
All of a sudden, it's just been one thing or another that's getting in the way.
I think. Oh, Tim said. He said, "Oh, October is when we
Yeah.
last did our show." I'm
Yeah.
glad that everybody can see us, and hear us now. That's. Whew.
We fixed whatever was wrong, but we don't know what was wrong, so we couldn't make sure we could fix it a second time around.
Yeah, it is what it is. Any hoodle. Since we're working on a short schedule tonight, what we're on the topic tonight
Right.
of dispelling fear in witchcraft and the occult. I mean, I think that there is a lot of fear from people about witchcraft in general, witches, the occult. What's your feeling on that?
So, with witchcraft and the occult, it's always been a dark closet.
Yep.
No other way I can think of it. And the problem is things are done in quote unquote secrecy when they're really not done in secrecy. What if you step a minute and look what a cult is? It was a development I found in the 16th century. That was natural magic and alchemy. And what that was, it was just a development of a new study, a new science, a new whatever you want to call it. And because very few people understood it or knew how to work it, then all of a sudden it became mysterious. And now you got to remember, when we're talking in the 1600s, we were talking a lot. I mean, gargantuan pounds of paranoia, of terrified. Like, I've never seen that family wear black clothes before, and all of a sudden they're wearing black. Why are they wearing black clothes?
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, black absorbs heat, so maybe they're having a bad day and they need their body to warm up. That's a very, very simple and quick answer.
Yep.
But the occult has been wrapped in mysterious, and people who don't understand it get scared. So what happens is I'm an alchemist, where you're forging those metals into into gold and that kind of stuff that alchemy does, and natural witchcraft, which is Wiccan. When things are resulting or getting done, people don't understand why they're getting done. But the person at the counter working on it knows why they're getting done, but nobody gets close enough because they don't want to share. It's almost like a secret. They don't want to share that secret. So now it becomes like, ooh, that sounds like taboo. Don't you go knocking over there because they're doing weird witchy stuff. Now, I found that the term occult, I'm going to try something here. I hope it doesn't disappear on me. The term occult was coined, and I got a definition in there. Let me just try something. I'm scared. So can you hear it? Okay, so the term occult, it comes from a Latin word, occultus, meaning hidden or secret. First 16th century, described as hidden or unseen properties of things, later characterized religious traditions that include the belief in unforeseen forces and secretive practices. So there's your main problem right there. Even with if you go with like the church, for the simple thing, it's all hidden. So they're doing stuff off to the side. Now, did they necessarily set it up as hidden? But now, because only 5 people understand it and 250 people don't understand it, now it becomes the occult. Now it's a hidden thing. So everything today, if you think about it, really, the term occult, in my opinion, could land on anything. If I have 15 people in my neighborhood and we'd like to get together on Friday nights for bonfire and beer, technically, that is an occult by the definition because it's it's not because it's not secret or hidden. It's out there, but it's hidden from the rest of the people that don't get to enjoy it.
Right.
So if it's
Right.
not enjoyed by everybody, it could be put under a cult. And whenever we
Mhm.
really look what happens in October. You have Fear Fest on AMC for 31 days,
Mhm.
and a lot of that is the occult, and a lot of it is because that scares people because they're afraid to learn about it. And then there's that taboo that also gets thrown on top of it. If you dabble in the occult, you're going to wake up witchcraft. You're going to wake up, and all we ever hear about is black. We never hear about Wicca. We never hear about white witches. We don't hear the good that black witches do. I mean, the word witches is an old term. It was Wicca, Wicca, is where the term witches derives from. And
Right.
all that really is. And then, so you take the occult, which I think springboards you to the witchcraft, because now they're doing like, well, hold on, I got ahead of myself. So what happens is a lot of people were looking for natural healing tendencies. And that's where a lot of the witchcraft started because you knew to go out and get milkweed. You knew to get out. Um, I used to know a bunch of natural ingredients for aspirin and everything else that could make you feel better. So people are reaching out to things that they don't understand. So all of a sudden it's like, ooh, that must be witchcraft. You're dabbling in the occult now. And I think that's how the two got married together to become the occult and the witchcraft. That they're synonymous. You can't separate one from the other anymore because of that. And I think that that's where the people get feared because a lot of times, especially in like witchcraft, even in good witchcraft, white witches in Wicca, they dress in robes. Okay. For whatever reason, why they're dressing in robes. Okay. But it brings that kind of that like staple, like, oh, that's bad. They're in robes. Well, priests are in robes. Monks are in robes, and they're not bad. So I think it just has to do with what people's perception is, and their what I would say is their failure to want to try and learn and understand it. Now, I'm not trying to say people don't. Don't get me wrong, Darren. People will learn about things that intrigues them. Um, but I think once you get on the other side of it and you get away from like this fearful piece of the occult or this fearful piece of witchcraft, um, and the familiars that go with witchcraft and the occult, which is like almost goth. I'm not saying the occult is goth, but I mean that is a type of, in my opinion, that's a type of an occult because they're a secluded type group. They dress their own way, they listen to their music. What's the difference if you have a bunch of kids wearing jeans and a sports jacket going around and running around in sports cars with their rooftops down? I mean, it's a little broad example there, but they just don't have the time to like maybe want to understand it. It's much easier just to say, you know what, turn a blind eye, don't look at it, go say 3 Hail Marys and an Our Father, and you're going to be okay. I mean, that's kind of the way. There he is. What's up, Timbo?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, this thing is a little wonky tonight, so just hang loose. Oh yeah. We're not having to do anything. We just clicking back and forth here.
Okay.
Buffy and I, we've already experienced this earlier, so that's why I
We
say
did.
it has to do with the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
But you're right though, Jimmy, about the occult. Religions have occult, right? They have a ritual. You base them on the occult, things like that. Not knocking any religions. I'm religious. You're religious. We all have some type of religion or spiritualism that we fall back into, and we all have those rituals. So, but when you say witches, we a lot of people tremble when they hear the word witch. They don't realize that that's just a name that was given for something that's dark from the Europeans and people back in the day, but they don't realize that everything has something good about it. Everything. And so, we have to look at it that way. But anyway, I'm clicking back out again. remove it myself. Got no guarantee I'm going to pop back in. So,
That's okay.
Pop in
hey,
whenever you're ready, Papa Weasel.
it's in the atmosphere. I'm telling you. Yeah.
I'm telling you, the atmosphere is kind of crazy. It's been kind of crazy.
It's going wompy.
It's
going
It is.
wompy.
It's going all cattywampus.
It's because me and Buffy haven't done a show in a while. It's going to go wacky on us.
Since October.
Right?
Yeah,
October.
since October.
That
So
could
it's
be
been
part of it, too.
Yeah.
But I think you're both right. I think both of you are right when it comes to witches and the occult. I think a lot of it is a very unnecessary fear. And I think it's based on rumor. When you talk about the 1600s, the 17th century, even the 16th century, because we have to understand that the quote unquote witch hunts started way back in the 15th century.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, as far back as the 14th century.
Yep.
I think 1350 was the first original witch hunt that was amassed in gigantic numbers. And then it just kept going. And I think because my problem with that is that the science of what we do has not been updated. And you have to understand in the 1300s, from the 1300s to basically the 1800s, there wasn't the science that we have today. Science was not studied unless it was studied by a man, and it was medicine. There were very few people that were considered quote unquote by normal standards people that were in the sciences unless they were a man. There was medicine. That was the big thing back then, is that they were studying medicine. That's where we get the grave robbers from way back then. In order to study the human anatomy, they would hire grave robbers to go rob graves and bring the bodies back to an undisclosed location. They would get paid for it in order to study anatomy. You had the occasional alchemist. Merlin himself was deemed an alchemist, not a magician, not a wizard, but an alchemist. Alchemy, which is the study of changing matter from one thing to another, which was a new thing back then. You had Copernicus, you had Galileo. Those were scientists who understood that the world was round. It was not flat. They were the ones who created things like a sextant. A sextant is a navigational tool that looks like a half moon that has a monocle on the end of it, so that ships knew where true north was. So maps were being made at the time, and they could navigate by the way of stars. Copernicus, Galileo, they all knew that we were not the only planet. They knew out there. And when we talk about science, oh yeah, how did they know? Well, oh, that was just theory back then. Everything in science is a theory until it's proven. So science is based on theories. They were thought of as being crazy. Like, you would go to the average, or Galileo would go to the average human being and say, the world, the world's not round, it's flat, or it's not flat, it's round. And they would look at him like he was nuts. They would, discount everything that he's ever studied and say, you're an idiot. You're a loony. The world is flat. If you go too far, you're going to fall off the edge. I don't think that there was enough understanding of science and religious preference. Of course, we have during that time, the big surge of Catholicism or Christendom, and a lot of the pagans, which we all were original, was pagans. Hey, Charles, we were all pagans at one point.
Mhm.
And then Christianity came along. Christianity came along with Constantine and the first council of Nicaea in Rome. Bibles were being made prior to that, or Bibles were being banded prior to that. Just that at the first council of Nicaea, Constantine wanted the entire world, everything that he could conquer, to be of one religion. So they were destroying all the pagans. There were no questions asked. And the reason that the witchery or witches hid in and did things at night and did things in the forest and far off and behind closed doors was because they were afraid of being persecuted.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was no just jail time. There was death. That was it. Depending on how long you were jailed was dependent on the person who jailed you. You could spend as little as 2 days in jail. You could spend as long as 2 years in jail. It didn't matter.
Right.
And they just were looking for something as far as like the confessions. That's when the Spanish Inquisition happened, or, the religious inquisitions, the church inquisition started. The Malleus Maleficarum was written during those eras. The reason they were hidden was because they were afraid. Not because they didn't want people to learn it or respect it or, ask questions. They were afraid of being jailed and killed. And the popes took it to a whole nother level as far as which the word Wicca, WICCE is how it started out, is an Old English word, an Anglo-Saxon word that initially meant feminine or females, and then was turned into a word that meant witchcraft as it evolved into something. Now, Wicca itself is a pretty modern look at forms of witchcraft. If you think about it, it was in the 1920s that Wicca became a thing. Before that, it was just witchcraft.
Right.
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. People don't ask questions, and they rather believe in rumors than ask questions. Whoa.
Jesus.
Did you hear that? Wow.
Yeah, it came blown through. That came blown through my side, so I don't know what it was. Okay.
Yep. I don't know what's going on. But I, for one, would rather people ask questions. I'm an open book. This whole thing about us being afraid or witches having to hide everything, or they're afraid of being persecuted. I'm the reason I'm doing these podcasts and the reason I post on Facebook about what I do is kind of dispel the rumors. Did you know that there are witches that are in your PTA groups?
They're all over. They're in everything.
There are witches that are teachers. We're moms, we're dads, we're part of the PTA, we're executives, we're housekeepers, stay-at-home moms. We're the one in the carpool lane.
Right.
It's just not something that comes into a subject of topic all the time. And sometimes we want to hide because we're afraid we're going to get asked the dumb questions. Like, oh, do you have a black cat? Oh, do you fly on a broom? All that stuff. Oh, instantaneously, people think because you consider yourself or you label yourself a witch, that immediately you can put a hex on somebody,
Right.
that you can do hexes. You know, that is something that needs to be studied first and experimented with before you can even do a hex. Hexes and curses nowadays are very rare. Do they still happen? Absolutely. 100% they happen. But they're very rare. The modern times with us witchy poos is that we kind of weigh out the person and go, are you really worth my energy, my time, and my herbs? Because herbs are kind of expensive nowadays, and I'd rather do them or save them for things for myself.
When you
Yeah, we do not fly on brooms. That's a misnomer. We do not have green skin. We do not all have warts on our nose. And I think again, they made us ugly in order to invoke fear in everybody.
Mhm.
It all started somewhere. Now, I am not here to bash certain religions because you do you, boo boo. You do whatever you'd like to do. Go ahead. If it gives you purpose and fills your soul, then that's something that you should do.
Right.
You know, never will you ever, 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 never evers see witch knocking on your door saying, "Excuse me, sir, do you have 5 minutes to talk about our Lord and Savior Baphomet?"
Right.
Never. We just don't do that. It's unnecessary. You know, the path will find you. Whatever path that is, it will eventually find you as a person. I went to high school with a girl who said she was a witch. Well, here's the thing. There are the word witch has become in modern times, and I'll say in the past 10 years, something that people or females think it's cool, it's kitschy, it's the new thing. Everybody is saying they are a witch. Are you really? Do you practice? Or are you just saying that to fit in? I mean, because I can call my cat a witch. I can call you a witch, bro. That doesn't mean you are one.
Right.
The word witch was a very, very derogatory statement way back in the 1500s,
Oh yeah.
1600s. To be called a witch was derogatory. You might as well scream at a woman and call her the B word or the C word, because it all meant the same thing, right? that they were a prostitute, that they sold their body to the devil,
Right.
that they did things in the woods, they danced naked in the woods. How do you know? I wanted to ask one of those people, and it's unfortunately you can't anymore because they're all dead. But if you could ask one of them and say, "Did you actually see that woman dancing in the woods naked?" And if so, you can consider yourself a witch. Because what are you doing out at night in the woods?
Naked in a robe.
Naked in a robe. Yeah. What are you doing? The reason we wear black is because black absorbs energy. So we wear black in order to protect ourselves so that all the negative energies that we're around during the day, whether we are actually practicing or not practicing at that specific time, and just going to the grocery store, energy seeps off of everyone. And whether it is good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, your body is porous. It's going to soak it up. We wear black so that the clothing soaks it up. Back then, way back when, women wore black, or witches wore black, in order to negate negative energies or hexes or curses that were brought to them. your black clothing would absorb it. So all you had to do was take your clothes off and wash them,
Hmm.
and nothing harmful would ever come to you. Do you ever see Elizabeth dancing naked a century ago? I can't say that I ever saw Elizabeth dancing naked about a century ago. As some of you know, I had ancestors who were hung witches, and the same ones who didn't. Crown is cursed that day. The word witch gets thrown around a lot. Now, we all know the 1600s when they did the Salem witch trials, those, a lot of witch trials, all the witch trials, we can include them all. They were not witches. 90% of them were not practicing witches. They didn't practice witchcraft.
No.
They were women who were tired of being dominated by males.
Right.
They were tired of being under the man's boot, because then women were considered property. They were still considered property up into the early 1900s. They had women that were herbalists. Like Tim said, his ancestor Elizabeth was an herbalist. She was a midwife
Mhm.
and an herbalist. They didn't have grocery stores where you go, or pharmacies where you can go get penicillin. Penicillin wasn't a thing until the 1920s. And that was manufactured by accident, because somebody left their sandwich out on the counter and the bread grew moldy.
Hmm.
That's mold. So they took care of themselves by learning about herbs and spices and tree bark and certain waters and the ways of the moon, and how energy is captured in certain phases of the moon, and how it waxes and wanes, and how you can add that energy to whatever you are doing.
Right.
I just think that we are all misunderstood. Have you ever asked a witch something? Gone to a witch and asked them an actual question. Okay, you're a witch. You claim you're a witch. I've seen you do witchy stuff. So what's the deal with that? We are more apt to explain
Hmm.
our spiritual practices and our religious practices, rather than say, oh, you can't learn that. Oh, there are certain practices that are considered closed practice. Those are the only ones that won't speak of it to anyone other than in their ethnic background. Bottom line. But that's my shtick. Ask. You know,
Well, that's wherein lies half the problem. So when you talk about witchcraft, when you talk about the occult, and then everything that gets looped into it,
mhm.
to the occult, like right now, when I know people are listening here, the first thing is one word's coming into their mind, two words: Ouija board. They
Yeah.
think of that as the occult and the witchcraft. The problem is the people who don't know, who are won't answer that question, are the ones that rely on and look for science to back stuff up. Look, if I mix H2O, what do I get? If if I go through the periodic table and I do A, B, and C, I'm going to get this. Well, it takes a step outside, and not only are you stepping outside your comfort zone, but you're also stepping into somebody else's zone, and you're trying to get information, or at least going to attempt to be kind and courteous about it. But you're also shunned off a little bit by the way they're dressed. Maybe they just part of their dress code is they dress in all black, every Saturday or something like that, or or they wear a pentagram, or they carry the eye of God. They carry some kind of charm or something. Let's face it. Let's put this to bed too. Everybody, I believe, carries some type of charm.
Mhm.
No matter how you want to give it to it, you carry something that you give power to that helps you. Whether it's somebody say in a witchcraft or Wicca that has a pentagram on, to somebody who's Catholic and wears a crucifix, to somebody who's Irish in their heritage who wants to wear the Irish cross. You carry everybody, but we don't question what we carry, but we want to question what they're carrying. But yet we won't go up to them and say, hey, because number one, science gets in the way. It says, no, that can't happen, but you're saying it can happen when you mix all this stuff here together. God forbid, you get some willow bark and a couple other things. You give somebody some natural aspirin, and they're going, "Oh, I feel so much better. And I didn't take that stuff I had to buy at CVS." It's like, so it's just, I think it's like a 50-50 problem, I think, when I look at it, because those in it feel pushed away and shunned by society. Those not in it feeling shunned and pushed away by them. So when you have those two negatives pushing against each other, you can't get close. Instead of one day, like you told me a perfectly good story. I always remember sometimes in my head, you were out somewhere and you were wearing your pentagram. And some little kid came up and said, "Mommy," or so you correct me when I'm wrong, said "Mommy" or something. That's a witch or a devil, or you're wearing the devil on your neck, and you took the moment. Now here's the thing, pentagram. Depending on how you hold it, obviously it has its meanings, but it is also designed in several different ways. If you have it where one point is down and the other 4 points are above, that shows one person in control. If you get it where the 4 points are down and 1 point is down, that's where the four are. I may have that mixed up, but you have it in control. But there's ways to read the pentagram and how they're wearing it and how they're presenting themselves to what the information means. Now, you taking 10 minutes probably made that mother feel really good. You acknowledge your daughter who has an interest. Let's face it. If a child, I think you said she was 12 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you say, if the 12-year-old is looking up and can recognize that for what it is, and then have the courage to ask, they've already dabbled. Again, there's a bad word. We shouldn't really use the word dabbled. We should really use the word like I'm learning about, I'm getting educated about. When you say dabble, it throws you right back to the witchcraft, because they dabble in the occult. And now here we are, we've married all three together again. So now when you go to a full moon, like I put out my moon water every chance I get. When the time is proper, I make sure Bailey does hers, as everybody here knows. My daughter's very active. She's into this arena. We'll say it right now. She's not a witch. She's not a cult. She's just a general practitioner of everything. But she knows enough and how to practice. She knows how enough to be safe. She recognizes things. So she's not scared of this. And if she has a question, she's the type, she'll come right up to you. She's got a tattoo, which I think is pretty cool. She's got all the phases of the moon tattooed to her forearm. From the full moon, and then, like you said earlier, waxing and waning. There's a meaning behind this. It's not just, let's call that a waxing gibbon and let's call that a waning gibbon. There's a meaning to each phase of the moon and what it's doing and where it's taking its energy and who's gathering that energy. Now, for a lot of us, the energy comes at full moon. That's why I have us. Bailey was very fortunate, which is something I believe in. When you energize your moon water, if you're fortunate enough to have a full moon fall on your birthday, that's even more special when your moon water goes out. Because now not only is it celebrating your birth, but now you're grabbing extra energy from your birth into that moon water. So she takes that stuff seriously, but she's also not afraid to ask questions or learn about it. She's not afraid to look at witchcraft, whether you want to deem it black or white witchcraft. She just sees it as general witchcraft. But if it's into black witchcraft, she's not afraid to be over there looking and learning about it, because you give it the power that can only come back on you. It doesn't have sitting power to go, come over here a little bit closer, child, and I shall scoop you up in one swift wound and be fine for the rest of your life. I mean, I sit here, and we laugh about it, which is funny, because we know that it's that very simple. If you're out there listening tonight, you're not sure. You see somebody, or look into it. Open up a book on it. Google it real quick. See what they say about it. It's not that it's going to be damning or harming or anything like that. But the problem is science has stepped in so much to say, well, this can't happen because I understand that from my job prior to, because I had to validate facts, just like you do. You do stuff like Tim does with his work. Yes, everything requires validation, but guess what? There's some things that can't be validated to satisfaction of the requester, I guess I would want to say. The person who wants to know the answers to, well, can I let my daughter go to my neighbor's house when they got black curtains and all this other kind of crap? You know, yeah, well, the Munsters just moved in next door. Go see Eddie and be friends with him. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you're right with that. You know, I would rather somebody ask questions, and Bailey is great with questions. She has asked me 1,000,001 questions because she's fascinated.
Oh, yeah.
She just wants to learn, and that's the sign of a good person who is willing to learn. She wants to learn the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. Not that she's going to practice it. She just wants to know.
Right.
And that's the best thing. Ask questions. With that 12-year-old little girl that I had, who immediately knew that I don't have it on me now because I've changed jewelry, but I had a pentacle on. Need to get Bailey back on the show, Tim said. We certainly do. I had it on. I don't have it on now, but she immediately knew that I had a pentacle.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that I was a witch, and I didn't hide it from her. I said yes, and I bent down and I showed her those points on that star and what each point meant. Right. I think the mother's look on her face was a little more horrified, that I was going to say yes, and I'm going to take you and whisk you away and put you in a cauldron. I'm going to eat you down, no, or I'm going to turn you to Satan. No. But I gave her why we wear them,
right,
and what each point and that circle stand for. Mm-hmm. And the mother was like, "Huh, wow, I really didn't know." See, you didn't know that because you didn't ask. We don't eat children. We do not eat children.
They're high in protein.
Please. Yeah, well, they're a little fatty, gristly. It's that gristle right around the collarbone that gets me, every time. Yeah. They're tough to cut through.
Like a brisket.
Yeah, like a like a brisket. We do not eat children. Another thing is, with witches. Witches and warlocks. There is no such term warlock. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Right.
A witch is a witch is a witch, whether male or female. I will admit that witchcraft is dominated predominantly by women.
But people got to understand it's dominated by women to protect themselves. Because the minute that I come out and I identify you as a witch, then with a familiar or something like that, then all of a sudden I get all your property. You're not going to be that quick to come up to a guy like me and say you're a witch and I get your property. No, we're gonna have a knockdown. I'm put my foot up your ass type of fight. So it's they got to get away from that.
Right.
It makes well, he's not a witch, he's a warlock, which means he's a barbarian or something. Like, no, they're a witch. A witch is a witch is a witch. Period. End of discussion. You don't go around, you don't go, and like the warlock doesn't hold any high power. He doesn't dictate how meetings go or what their robes are going to wear that night. No, the warlock is not. It's just what, and like we said though, the reason you have more female who are identified as witches is a protection type of thing. It's a gathering of them to protect themselves and keep themselves safe from that one neighbor, that one cousin or nephew, whoever is trying to get more from you that understands. Now, that wouldn't happen today. First of all, let's get rid of that first of all. 1600s and earlier, yes, because that's how people got property. I don't care what anybody wants to say. That's how you got property. You stole it from somebody that you're accused of in bad Puritan times, religious times, whatever time you want to put it into.
Yep.
That's how it goes. But today's witches don't have that same fear. All it is today is and I don't mean to sound this to be demeaning or anything, but it's basically a book club when they get together. How are we doing? What are we doing? But they have certain things that they want to do, certain rituals.
Yep.
Like they want to do this, they want to express this, they want to talk about that. One of them had a bad week and they want to journal, or they want to talk, or they want to burn, or they want to, there's a lot of releases, and a lot of releases go to what people laugh at us when we say tree huggers. Well, that's a nice release. If you let it embrace you the way it should, and you're barefoot out on Mother Nature, you're going to get a cleansing feeling. I mean, I've experienced it. I've been out in my backyard in my bare feet, and I've laid down on Mother Nature and just said, "Suck all the bad energy out." That does that make me a witch? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. If it in your eyes it makes me a witch because I found a way to really, really, really relax, and get rid of bad mojo. And I guess that's where the point really comes to. It's like I'm getting rid of bad mojo through a practice that you don't understand or you don't even really want to learn to understand. And you learn it and you go, not so much. I'm cool with it, but you have your way with the Saturday nights at midnight dance around the bonfire or whatever they're doing at that point in time, and that's how you get better. That's how people feel better.
Yeah, and I don't think after hundreds of years, they haven't done anything to improve the outlook on witches.
No.
They really, really haven't. Here's another thing. So Tim asked what a warlock was. There is this claim that a warlock is a male witch. Mm-hmm. Another reason that there are more women is because more women, it's an innate thing where women know more about their bodies. They know more about anatomy. They can sense things. They're more compassionate towards sensory things. They're more apt to learn about the world around them or their environment around them. That's why more women are herbalists. Mm-hmm. Like Tim's relative Elizabeth, she was an herbalist. They learned handed down from generation to generation. You know why more women are herbalists? Because they did all the cooking. They did all the cooking. I want you to see a man go around one of those cauldrons and cook something. And this may sound funny, but it's true. So if you put a dead animal in a pot and you add things to it, like spices and herbs, and
I have new shit we got going on here.
And you put a fire underneath of it. That's soup. That's not witchcraft. Horse shit. That's witchcraft. That is witchcraft. And you're getting instructions from a book that was handed down from generation to generation. Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Witchcraft. I don't want to hear it. You're not making soup. That's witchcraft. By standards. Anywho.
That's not soup. That's witchcraft.
Right. Women are more sensitive about vibrations as well.
Oh yeah.
Not that men can't. They can. There are more covens today that have men in their covens. Mm-hmm. Now, are they less likely to make high priest? Absolutely, because it's a female dominated thing. But they let them, enter and learn like everybody else, or feel communal, harmony and compassion with the women. Another thing, here we go again. Wiccans. Not every Wiccan is a witch, and not every witch is a Wiccan.
Right.
There are people that practice Wicca that are not witches, that don't you dance in the moonlight naked, that don't put out moon water, that don't, do create altars, some that don't have cauldrons and grimoires and herbs and stuff and put it together and do spells. They do it because they understand nature.
Mhm.
Wicca is a natural based science and study and a religious or spiritual background of understanding the tides, different deities for different plants and animals and the woods and the city and the rocks and the whole thing and the sky and all that good stuff. Another one. Here you go. You're dancing with the devil. You're dancing with Satan. Do you know that 95 to 98% of all paganistic practices do not include a devil? They do not include hell. Wiccans do not believe in hell. They do not believe in a Satan or Lucifer or the devil. There is none in the practice. So when you say we're dancing with some made up religious fear mongering tool, basically, that certain religious factions created this thing to hold control over people. So, oh, if you're not going to do that, this person that I made up that has a forked tail and hooves and forked tongue and horns and all that, they made him gruesome because they wanted people to fear. No, there is none in the craft. There is none in the practice. Even Satanists do not believe in the devil himself. We went on this subject and we did the differences between the Church of Satan and Satan's Temple. I made a pot of chicken tortilla witchcraft on Sunday morning. Hey, Sherry. Sherry Roberts just jumped in the chat. She said she made a pot of chicken tortilla witchcraft on Sunday morning.
Oh, nice. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes.
Got to feed the soul, nurture the mind.
I'm sure it was delicious. Yeah. It was absolutely, I'm sure it was absolutely delicious. Get this, you're going to hell, Satan, no.
No, because the Church of Satan.
Absolutely not.
And, you know, though, it's like we said, and we'll reiterate a little bit of what we talked about on that, is the Church of Satan does more good than it does in its namesake. The what's that one? So it's not. It's only as bad as you're going to let it be. If you want to take a minute to try and understand it, then you're going to be better off. You're going to get rid of the mystique and the misnomers about all this stuff. Like tonight, where we had one of our listeners here making devil soup. No, we're not making devil soup. So it's just like, stop. Take a minute, because like you said, you're absolutely correct. And I remember the show. Mm-hmm. Satanist, the extreme Satanist, and I mean, I'm talking like that kind of group of Satanists believe in the worshiping of the devil. Everybody else is, I'll equate it like this. So when we talk about mystique and everything like that, until Bailey started messing around with tarot cards, the death card, I will say right here, point blank, scared the living Jesus out of me. I was blessing myself 3 times and giving confessional 5 times a day. Because, but there, I took a minute and it was explained to me, it's not what you think it means. It's just the end of one thing and the beginning of something else. So that simple little card made me run for the forest. Run, forest, run. It was like a box of chocolates. I didn't know what I was getting, but I didn't like it. But you can just take that 1 second and just learn it. And that, to me, that's an example. It's just like, took a minute, because number one, it had, my daughter's interest in it, and you're interested in it. So like, there's people I care about that I don't want to see any harm come to or anything like that. So let me at least learn something about this, to what it could be.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad. I mean, Baphomet. People think Baphomet's a bad thing. Well, it's not. It's a
No.
he's nothing. He's just telling you, look, there's a coincidence going on that up here is the same as down here, or vice versa, whichever
Correct.
way you look at it. There's no difference here. And that's another
Correct.
belief. People, they see him sitting in. That's why I lose my mind sometimes when people get worried about statues. And
Yes.
Baphomet, but school or something out in the Midwest or something like that. And it's like, what? Relax, breathe, look around. You're okay.
Breathe.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The Temple of Satan, they do so many good things for their community. They hold fundraisers. They build libraries. They hold book drives, bake sales. They are part of Habitat for Humanity.
Right.
They take care of the homeless in their community. They built libraries, for crying out loud, for kids. They do offer something called the Little Satanist Club. And some schools have actually adopted that. They've offered it to elementary schools. And what it is, it's an after school activity or Little Satanist Club, where they join the club and they learn about the truth about being Satanists. But they also read books, they learn about science, they do a whole lot of other things that are great for the community.
Our biggest problem,
to the community.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Our biggest problem when you're talking about that is two words: Anton Levy. If you really want to get smart about it, dig in a little bit to Anton. He was nothing more than a what is it when they have those parties and everything? An orgy party. He was just an orgy party. That's all he was. He was not a preacher of anything. He just displayed the mystique that kept everybody away. And when you look right down deep into it, there was nothing weird well, it's weird, but if you're into it, he was the orgy king of San Francisco. That's all he really was. And we put so much on him and make him the child of, and all of a sudden with the Anton Levy, the Satanist Bible. I mean, come on.
Right. But I mean, they have a lot in their community. They do a lot for their community.
Yes,
Did
they
you
do
know that in every temple, Satan's temple, or every church of Satan, you can walk in and ask questions. They have someone there 24 hours a day. You can walk in, they'll give you a tour. They'll show you, they'll give you paperwork, they'll give you books, they'll show you things that they are about and what it's like inside Church of Satan and the Temple of Satan.
Right.
You do not have to, you're not stuck there. You can come and go as you please. They don't keep people and tell them, oh, you can't leave. It's a closed practice. Oh, it's a cult. You can't leave. Da da da. If it is not for you, you can walk out that door and leave. No problem.
Well, and guess what? You just hit my nerve. Not you personally or anything, but you hit my nerve. What group should be educating properly on the devil and Satan?
The Catholic Church.
Yeah. My four walls and a roof. Come on. You shun away from it, you run away from it because you don't understand it. And when you're called upon for something like that, instead of giving some kind of calming or doing some research saying, hey, here's what we're really experiencing or anything like that. Now they go, well, that's not really my bailiwick. I'm gonna run away and wait for the bishop to tell me I can do something. Stop. And you got these people out here who are willing to talk to you, who are kind people.
Right.
And then you got the one there that should be the front runner. to say, hey,
Right.
look, yes, this is this is that. This is not something to be feared. It's just we because we want to fill that damn. Oh man, I'm going to hell. But you want to. They just want to fill that collection plate. And I don't mean to be offending to anybody that's listening or watching. And I appreciate your guys' time. I really do. Listening to, as we chat on these things. And I'm not trying to be offensive in any way. I'm just speaking from my personal feelings and belief. And Buffy will attest to it, and Tim will attest to it. Like I said, I respect each and love each and every one of you. Though I've not met a lot of you guys. I've met a few of you. But yeah, I love each and every one of you. And it's just, this is how this particular person feels. You're hearing right now. I'm not saying it's carte blanche and it's how it has to be. You know, the church is. Buffy knows me more than well enough about my thoughts on the Catholic Church. Yeah, so that's my little disclaimer.
I mean, it if you what else was I going to say? The Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple, they also have rules. You think that those people that they believe in Satan, they worship the devil, and they're lawless, they have rules.
Yeah, they do.
Church, just like the Catholic Church has the 10 Commandments, they have something called tenets, right?
Yes.
Depending on which one you belong to will be dictative of whether you have 7 or 10 tenets.
Okay.
Those rules are for you to follow and to live by. They are dead set against child abuse.
Oh yeah.
They will mess you up in a hot minute if they see you messing with a child.
Yep.
That is one of their big pet peeves. Yeah. They don't believe in orgies. They don't believe in swinging or taking someone's wife. They don't believe in fighting. They have rules that state if someone annoys you, walk away.
Right.
If they continue the argument after you walk away, then you have every right. Kind of like when you went to school and your parents said you better not start anything, but if something starts with you, you better finish it. You better finish it. That's what their rules are.
Right.
Their rules are very simple. You can't covet someone's wife. No stealing. Stealing is a big thing that they're against. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick.
So far, you're right. You're right in with the Catholics. I mean, so far you're already into the 10 Commandments. We don't covet thy, don't lie, don't kill. I mean, who stole from who?
Here we go. The Satanic Temple. They have 7 tenets. I'm just trying to make sure that I was correct in what I would say. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. Number 2, the struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. And now they're asking me for my for my email address. One's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will. Freedom of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. Willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. Beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort science. Are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused. And number 7, every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. So those are basically like the Ten Commandments,
Yeah. So to me,
right?
when you read those off to me, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, the
Right,
Catholic Church or the Satanist groups? Because we're
right,
all doing the same thing when it comes right down to it. Except the funny part is, those ones who we're supposed to shun that are bad and evil and diabolical, the Satanists, we're supposed to push them away. Except this group. Yeah, you got to be careful.
correct.
You got to be careful. I mean,
Even with, go ahead.
and I want to say also, I am a God-fearing man. I've had enough belief. I've had enough things in my life occur that, for me, I know there is a greater power because I've had that experience. So, but I'm saying, so everybody can have that experience on one side of the aisle or the other. You know.
Right. And the other thing about the Baphomet, you said the statues of Baphomet, each one of them, the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple both have Baphomet as a symbol. They don't
Mhm.
pray to Baphomet. They don't, the whole thing with human sacrifice does not exist. Please do not get it twisted.
Right.
Black masses, don't know where they got that from.
Anton Levy.
Of course.
I mean, he is the
Yeah,
underlying. He is the
he's the
underlying
underlying.
maniac in
He
this
was an
whole.
egotistical maniac, is what he
Yeah.
was.
And he's the one that made that perverse decision to set, not decision, but the
Correct.
perversion to separate one side from the other. He just wanted it for
Correct.
one reason. It was a money tree. He was in a money tree getting sex whenever he wanted it.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, that's all he was about. And
That's all that
how hard is it to take an educated person to reverse write like the Bible and make your own the Satanic Bible? You know what? Well, it should be a bright sunny day. Nope, it's a dark, gloomy, black, cloudy day. You know, stop.
right.
Levy was he was a
Right.
POS. That's all he was.
You're right. He was a POS. And the statues of Baphomet are there to remind us, and you will see him as a half goat, half human.
Right.
More goat than human. He has goat legs. He has a human torso and a goat head with horns. He also has a pentacle on his forehead, but he also carries the cross, the medical symbol. I can never
Oh
for the
yeah, I know.
life of me remember what that's called.
It's
But
it's like a doctor degree. If you get
right,
the degree, you can say what it is.
we'll just leave it at that for now.
Right.
Yeah. To symbolize is to mix, is to meld science and spirituality.
Right.
All that can be seen and proven and unseen. That what you do to one, you must do to another.
Correct.
To balance. It is all about balance. Science and spirituality is about balance. Just like witchcraft. I don't want to hear somebody tell me, oh, I'm a white witch. All I want to do is spread, love and unicorn, rainbow farts and marshmallows and glitter. The hell you do. If you are a witch,
rainbow farts,
you better start writing checks out of your mouth that your behind can cash.
Right.
Number one. You want to say you're a witch, you better be practicing. You better be practicing. And I will tell you right now, witchcraft is all about balance. You can't sit there and tell me all you are is a white witch and it's all you do is white stuff. The hell you do. Because every good practicing witch treads that line.
Yeah.
It is all about white and dark.
Yep.
The light and the darkness. And being able to do both. understanding, and some don't follow the rules. Some witches don't believe in karma. Some do. Depends. Some people are just about to do it willy-nilly and don't care about the repercussions that they may be facing. They don't believe in karma. All right. They just believe it just happens. There are some that do believe in karma. I weigh out my karmic justice that I'm going to get. There are 3 things you do not fool with when it comes to me. You do not fool with my children. You do not fool with my family. And you certainly don't fool with my friends.
Right.
And if you do, you got an ass whooping coming to you. And if it's something terrible, I will most definitely flip a switch and be the darkest thing you have ever seen in your life. There are some things that I am willing to put aside of my karmic justice,
right,
and throw caution to the wind. And those are the 3 things. Are the 3 things. Okay. You practice both. It is about balance.
yes.
The earth science is about balance.
Mm-hmm.
Witchcraft is about balance. Paganism is about balance.
Right.
Always balancing nature in itself. Native Americans, if they cut down a tree to make a canoe or a boat to get from one side of the lake to the other side, they always planted a tree in its place. They always planted a tree in its place to replace on Inamaka what they took.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they always gave great thanks to Mother Earth.
Right.
And the great creator for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Even when they killed something, when they killed a deer, they prayed over it. When they killed a buffalo, they prayed over it before they ate it. Thank you for giving us food to feed ourselves. Yeah. There were many moons ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, Norse pagan practices where they did human sacrifice. Those went willingly. They didn't come in the middle of the night snatching bodies up and saying, guess what? You're going to be human for sacrifice tomorrow. We're going to sacrifice you to the gods. They did not. They were willing participants. They thought that if they used themselves as a human sacrifice to the gods, that it was an automatic to Valhalla. Or the Folknivar. Or Folknivar. Either one. Folknivar was another heaven that was ruled by Freya. There was no battling. There was no feasting. There was meadows. There was peace, love, and tranquility. So there wasn't Valhalla too, but it was more of the gluttonous, let's have sex and eat and drink and carouse around a lot. And then there was hell. That was the first thought of an actual hell. And it wasn't HE double hockey sticks. It was HEL. And it was a female. Their deity, Hel, was actually part of, I believe, Persephone was part of that. She was Loki's daughter. She was sent to rule Hell. Hell was a very cold place. It wasn't hot. It was cold. And it was dark. She was depicted as half female and half skeleton. That is where if you did something against your brothers or against the community that was so unthinkable, or you died with dishonor, went to hell. And you got ruled by her.
Oh.
And it was a very cold, dark place.
And
your reputation followed you.
Yeah,
in the North practice.
Given that, there makes me think that there is an answering that everybody has to have, regardless of where you're at, what you do, what you believe, what you say, what you practice, what you don't.
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of cued me up a little bit there when you just said what you said, because for one belief, if you're in my belief, there's a belief of what you're headed to. If you're in Tim's side of the world, there's something there that you're headed to. If you're your side of the world, so we all have a final answer that we're gonna. I believe we all have a final answer we're gonna come to that we have to, whether the right word is justify or accept, whatever it may be. That we're all going to have that one thing, regardless of where or what you come from. So I just think that, like I said, I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying there. It's I don't really root in the end where you're at, because you've chosen your deity and it's got to be answered to, and it's going to be answered to.
Correct. And I don't even think our feeling, getting back to us, which is, I don't think it's even being okay with it. We just ask for you to respect our privacy. Respect who we are. We are not asking you to agree to everything that we do.
No.
We don't ask you to agree. We ask you just to respect.
And that's the right thing.
This is what we believe.
Yes. And I agree with that 110%, is
right,
because it should be that way with whatever it is that you have or do. Don't condemn me for what your religion may not, or your belief may not support. Because just say, I'm not going to condemn you, because, and that's the problem today. Because today, a lot of society, the internet to me is a big problem, because it's instant gratification. And it gives people this thing like, I need to be there yesterday and I can do that, but you got to get the hell out of my way because I'm driving.
Right.
We need to everybody here needs to step back and stop and relax and breathe.
Yeah.
And that comes down to the same thing here with your belief. I respect your belief. I know you respect my side. We respect Tim's. And that's what makes unity, and what makes strength, is when you finally come in and go, you know what? We can all find a little good in each one of us to make one big, huge circle that we can all survive and have a good time with.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I often get questioned, and I'll leave this, is because I was in our paranormal group, I was the only non-Christian.
Right.
And I got asked that a lot, is how does that even work? That doesn't even work. I mean, you can't be hanging around with Christians and then be okay with doing what you're doing. And you know what? It does work.
Yeah, it does.
It does work.
Fucking ain't right.
And it's my family. And whether we are together or not together, we will always be considered family.
Yeah.
Every holiday, we're texting each other, I love my demon busting family. Or my family, hey family, da-da-da. For so many years, they respected me. And they allowed me to do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I even got willing participants. They were like, oh, here, we can cast a circle. I'll hold a candle. I'll hold a candle. Can I hold a candle? And then you would fight over wanting to be north.
I'll be the north. Get out of here, Jeff. You're the south, you bastard.
Jeff always gets to be north. Why can't I be north this time? I'm like, oh God, just grab a candle, for crying out loud. Just hold it. That's all I'm asking. I don't care who you are. But that's because they helped me. They were willing to hold my grimoire, my books. They were willing to just send white light. Not that they were, actually physically saying the words, but they were sending white light to me.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it went to the good of things, it didn't matter.
That's all
our exorcist, Yvonne, how many times did she ask me, can you take some salt and throw some blessed salt over in that corner and throw some? Sure will. Sure will. Would you like to hold a crucifix? Sure. Why not? Hell surprise. Guess what? The pagan actually held a cross and actually remembered the prayers. I was not always a pagan. I was a Roman Catholic until I was 19 years old. So I still remember those prayers.
Go ahead.
I still remember the blessings.
Hmm.
I am not beyond helping a person who is suffering with spirit. I'm not.
Right.
Whether it be holding a cross or saying a banishing spell,
Hmm.
it's all the same thing.
Yes.
Saying an incantation in a church as an ordained priest is the same thing as me chanting a spell, just
Yep.
different words.
That's all. Different words, different actions,
Just
and
different
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Above all, I think we should start asking questions. Stop labeling people and stop believing rumors. Ask.
Right.
Go into a temple of Satan or a satanic temple. Go to your local church of Satan and ask questions. Walk through the door. Take a
Right.
pamphlet. Learn. It'll do you some good. You'll gain a wrinkle in your brain because you actually read something.
Yeah.
And talk to someone who's been living it. They're not going to chain you to a chair. You can leave. You can come and go if you please. If you
Unless it's
sign
Tuesday
up
night.
to be one, there's no contract. They don't have to kill you. You don't have to be beaten out or killed out of a group. You can leave that door open. If it's not for you and you don't like it, leave.
Right.
They're not going to come haunt you or fight you. You're not going to be beat out of the group. Fine. Okay. We are everywhere. We're police officers, nurses, doctors, paramedics, lawyers, cops,
Right.
teachers, bakers. Who the hell knows? One of them, a witch, one of us can actually be your head of your PTA.
And getting that phone tree list.
Yep. Well, you remember that me saying all the rumors about me being a witch? Well, I'm a witch. There you go.
Sweet lady.
There you go, Sally. Sally Owens. There you go. So I know we're ending a little early tonight. We went over a little time. Bro's football team is playing. He is a Steelers fan. He's got his look. He just disappeared. Steelers.
Where
Yeah,
the hell am I
Steelers.
going? Why am I disappearing?
You just disappeared because your shirt matches your background, silly. You take it off and whatever you're wearing underneath is matching. He is a Steelers fan. So he has a game to catch. Anything else you want to add?
It's been too long since we've done a show, and I'm having a blast tonight doing this show. The biggest thing, I have something here. I know I've been really lax on the goblet, but I found something tonight that I thought was like kind of way to end things. It'd be pretty cool. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I said yes.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to hear.
It's going to take a minute to read it. Hopefully I don't screw up the words. They're not big words, but they're a lot of words.
He doesn't want to get in front of his eye tooth.
So I think the thing for tonight with me and Buffy, they were talking about the occult and the witchcraft and all that. The things that we'd like everybody to take away would be superstitions and the occult beliefs were once a main way societies explain mental illness. Even today, these beliefs influence people seek help and understand distress. Superstitions often increases in times of uncertainty, if it's a natural human response to fear. Cultural sensitivity in mental health can helps bridge traditional beliefs and modern treatment. The goal is to erase superstition, but to engage it respectfully while promoting healing. In the end, the line between the supernatural, the psychological has always been blurry. Whether we call it witchcraft, energy, or mental illness, the search is the same, to understand the unforeseen forces that shape our minds and to find peace within them. So that's my little goblet.
That is amazing. Even I'll add Hellfire clubs.
There you go. Boom. We're back in it. We're doing the Hellfire.
the Hellfire Club, and how do you think the Illuminati started?
Right.
They were all thinkers who were going to be punished. The Illuminati and the Hellfire Clubs were created in order to be a safe place where those who would be persecuted because they love science,
Right.
to be able to talk freely about science.
Yes.
Talk about Pythagoras. Pythagoras, he
Yep.
had a group that would meet in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And they would know each other, and that it was safe to let them enter one of the caves because they had the Illuminati sign, or they had the Pythagorean triangle tattooed on their palm. They would talk about science. Pythagoras was a man before his time. He made a club that used to meet in the middle of the night in the dark.
Yep.
Because he was afraid of being considered crazy and being hung for heresy, because science back then and religion didn't mix.
Yeah,
if God didn't say so, it ain't happening. And it's against God.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I know you got an email address, bro, that you'd like to throw out there. That was a great goblet, though.
Thank you.
I like it.
I enjoyed the show. I missed the camera and talking with you and Tim and everything, and I missed
it. Period.
So we're gonna make sure we get these things back online.
Yep.
And I will be honest with you, I have trenched. I've called the Mystery of Oak Island. I've reached out to the Titanic and everybody else to try and find topics. And I think between us, you and Tim, and then you and
Jen.
Jen, thank you. I was going to say Joanne, but Jen, we've covered a lot of topics. Tonight, me and Buffy were talking about this one to try and get rid of and dispel the fear. But I'm open to the topic. I'm open to you coming on the show. I really enjoy this time slot doing this. It's been something me and Buffy have been doing now for 5 years, something like that, close to 5 years or something like that. We've been doing this, all with Tim's help in many different platforms. We appreciate you very much, Tim. Thank you so much for what you do for us. But I am spiritsearcher649 at gmail.com. Spiritsearcher649 at gmail.com. If you want clarity, you want to come on the show, you want us to do something like we did tonight, where let's dispel the fear or the stigma that goes around something, let us know. I'm constantly digging, and I feel bad because Buff comes up with a lot of the show topics. We came up with this one tonight. So I'm trying to dig and find something, but I'm getting closer to having the topic that I can say, "Hey, Buff, it's my topic today. Let's do this!" Yay!
And I'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!"
Yeah, Buffy's in there going. I can see her behind the scenes. I wish you would come up with a goddamn topic. Well, yes,
I don't do that. I don't do that. Stop.
49@gmail.com, and I'll be willing to listen and entertain and whatever you got for us. And I'm going to sling it over to my sister. There she is, Buffy.
Hi, everybody. My email, same thing goes for me. If you want to be on the dang show, I will put you on the show. We will get you a face. We'll put you on there. Tim, he did a lot of them controls and make everything happen. If you have a topic that you're interested in or something that you consider yourself an expert at, we'll put you on the dang show. Give us topics. My email address is ghostwhisperer318@gmail.com. That's ghostwhisperer318@gmail.com. Crickets, people. I hear crickets. I want more than just crickets and the spider webs that I clean out of the mailbox all the time. It'd be nice to get some, oh, you got mail. Okay. That would be great.
Right.
Hey, and I don't say that about Jen. I don't, he comes up with some great topics. It's a 50-50 thing. And we're only going to get better. And it's 6 years. We started, 2020 Halloween night
You might have to pull up all. I got like all of our saved goblets and our shows that we did. Maybe we have to do a year in review.
We can. You want to do a year in review? Do you want to make it so for the next episode?
Just talk about what we talked about in the past and everything. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. I'll send you everything I got. And I'll send you everything I got saved on it. And if you like it, we'll go for it.
I like that. I like doing a year in review. And I just spelled Sherry's name wrong. Jesus. I love, spell check.
Oh, yeah. It's on top of itself.
Yeah. It's spelled Sherry's name, Cherry. CHARARI. Oh, God. Oh,
one word off.
Anyhow, if you're still watching Sherry, I do apologize for that. My fat fingers. About your pot of witchcraft that you made the other day.
Nice.
So we like to thank our producer Tim Hopper, as always,
100%,
being in the background with us and giving us the opportunity to come to you all. And to bro, man, 6 years, my friend. 6 years.
Right?
6 years. And then how many years paranormal? My goodness. Since 2015.
Yeah, because I was Delmarva Historic, then came over. Yeah.
15. Yeah.
Wow.
Since 2000. Did you see my crazy pants? My extra pair. I
saw the nutty pants.
He always wants to make fun of me about my crazy pants.
No! Hold on a minute. When we first met,
crazy pants.
Up, and my sister, she rocked out of the house with like a pair of pants that I don't know who should have been wearing, but I looked at them like, what the hell we got here? And it was funny because as soon as she got in Jeff's truck and we took off and we're headed to the case, it's like, it's the weirdest thing in my life. There was like this instant lock-in connection.
Yep.
That we formed like right off the bat. It was like, and we've gone into investigations and everything without even like, we've said it before, without even speaking a word about anything we're doing. But it's like, move over here. No, you move over here. Yeah. How about if we or pull out or what? Keep an eye on, or it's like, ba-boom, ba-boom. It's incredible, but it's
yeah.
But yeah, excuse me.
They were the red anchor pants, I think. The red satin anchor pants, probably.
It's one of those things you go and go, what the hell you got going on over there?
Oh, God. I walked out and he went, oh, Jesus. That's all he said was, oh, Jesus. Here's another crazy person. But it's gotten to the point where even with our last investigation, over the years, it became like this symbiotic twin thing where all he would have to do, he did most of the driving. So he would look in the rearview mirror and I would see his eyes and I'd look at him and he'd go, oh, shit. Yep. She's giving me eyeballs. This is going to be a horrible case. She's already given me eyeballs. I know I should have stayed home.
This is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. Oh, God, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah. Or he'll know when I tell him to move. I'll give him the look and then he'll just go, okay, I'm sorry. I'm moving over here now. I'm moving over here now. And always the protector of the group, which was great. And it got to the point where we were standing in front of each other. You know what I mean? Because I could see it. He could feel it, but I could see it. Yeah. And I'd stand in front with my arms doing like this. And then he would do just the exact same thing with me, going, really? This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing. And then the leg shaking thing. Yeah, that was the best.
That was the best. Welcome to my world, he says.
Yeah. Welcome to my world. What is going on? I can't stop my leg. And no, it was not an SNL. No. I can't stop my leg. So he got to feel how it was for me. All the investigations, the crazy times of, but the best times
Oh
and
yeah,
we were
absolutely.
damn good at what we do. We are damn
Yep.
good at what we do as far as demon or taking care of the nasties, the demon.
Yeah, and we're going to
Um,
keep that up.
yes, and we're going to continue to keep that up, no matter what. So I've always enjoyed it, and I'm so thankful for the past 10, 11 years
Yep.
to have known you, Yvonne, Jeff, Bailey, all of you, Lucy, the kids, all of the kids. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And to be considered part of the family. And they make me feel normal. I think that's the best part, feeling normal.
Right, which you should.
You know, like we got other crazy people. Not being the odd man out and just allowing me to do what I do to help families. It's been an amazing ride. Really, really has.
Yeah.
All right, I've blubbered enough on here. Do not forget to tune in next Monday with Jen and I on Which Is Winging It. Same bat time, same bat channel, where Jen will be talking about mugwort.
Ooh,
So
you got a whole bunch of mugwort too.
Huh?
You got a whole bunch of mugwort too. That one house up north.
I did, and I looked like a kid in a candy store.
Oh,
I
man.
actually went driving with it in my arms, like cuddling it like a toy. I was like this.
Yeah,
they were like, "Are you happy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
She
I
got
got
a ton of mugwort for nothing.
I have a whole tree, a whole mugwort bush, and I was so happy.
Yes, you were.
I actually have some mugwort growing in my backyard. I took clippings
Awesome.
from that, and it's still growing in my yard.
Cool.
So Jen and I, we've switched things up. We're going to start doing more witchy stuff, more
Good.
teaching, more let's do this along with me kind of things.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
so Jen wanted to talk about mugwort. So that's what we're doing.
Sounds awesome. Can't wait.
So get your pens and your papers out, people. We're going to be taking notes about mugwort.
Awesome.
All righty. So anything else, bro?
I don't think so.
Okie dokie. See, he's doing his Donald Duck. Oh, I love the Donald Duck. And as we always say, love, blessings to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Oh my goodness.